Hi, I'm your mortgage guy, Dave Steinberg, sitting here with Ron Fatoullah, and we were talking about reverse mortgages. Um, there was a time going back about 20 years ago where the reverse mortgage industry was a swamp. Today, I think reverse mortgages are great for the right people. Ron, help us understand that.
Sure. And you know what, David? I'm not the expert on this, but from my vantage point as an elder law and estate planning attorney, I would say that reverse mortgages are amazing for the right person in the right situation.
So
So
let's talk about what's the right situation.
for example, I advised my uncle to get a reverse mortgage. So he was in his early 90s, he had a home, and he went through all of his money but had a beautiful home in on Long Island in Plainview, New York. Uh, but he didn't have enough to live the life he wanted. He was blessed. He would go into Manhattan, take the Long Island Railroad, and enjoy days in the city, and even at 92. Um, but he just didn't. He just ran out of money. So I recommended a reverse mortgage. He got a monthly payment, and a lien was put against the home through the reverse mortgage. You know the steps much better than I ever will. But he was able for his entire rest of his lifetime, which was about another 5 years, to live in his home, enjoy his home, do the things he wanted to do, and it was a blessing to have that reverse mortgage for him.
You know, what I say is that, if you're going to buy a home, it's really about you. And, when you're going to sell a home, it's about you. Where are you going to live? What are you doing? When you get to reverse mortgages, I always advise that all the stakeholders are consulted with. So your elder law attorney, your accountant, your financial advisor, get them all involved and then get the family involved. Because there's always a fear, sometimes on the client's part, but there's always a fear of what's going to happen if there's a reverse mortgage. One of the myths is that the bank will take your house away. And you know that, and I know that. It's not true. What does happen is, let's say you have somebody who had no mortgage, they paid off their house, and their house is now no mortgage. And now we put them into a reverse mortgage. And let's say they're getting, your uncle, probably getting $5,000 a month out of the reverse mortgage. Well, if he lived for 5 years, that's 60 months. Well, he would have withdrawn, let's say, $300,000, 5,000 times 60. Maybe there's another $100,000 in interest. And so you have a $400,000 nut out there. But if the house is a $800,000 house or $1 million house, you sell the house. Usually you have 6 months, but generally speaking, they'll give you another 6 months with no pushback. So you take that house, you live well in it, make sure your kids are involved so they understand what you're doing. Sometimes it's just somebody with wealthy children. The children don't need, obviously everyone wants to get money from the estate, whatever. But if the alternative is that someone's going to live on cat food because they can't afford it, this is a marvelous thing, especially if you consult with all the parties up front.
Yeah, totally agree. And my uncle really lived his life, which he
That's
wouldn't have.
great.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been
Okay.
the Mortgage is Made Easy podcast with Dave Steinberg, joined with Ron Fatoullah, a expert in trust and estates planning and elder law. Ron, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, David.